as a preteen and a teenager, I hated the idea because for two reasons. One of the reasons was it sounded incredibly boring.
Yes.
And the other reason was I did not believe I would get into heaven. I couldn't really trick myself to believe it. But if I did somehow end up there, I also did not believe that my family would get there. So I wouldn't want to be there knowing that my family was in hell.
Yeah, there's
interesting.
a number of problems with the hell thing, and some of them are more jokey, like, hey, I could have cheesecake and it's awesome, but if you're going to feed me cheesecake every day for the rest of eternity, I'm going to get sick of it. I get that. I understand it.
I love cheesecake, so that would be heaven for me.
Okay.
Is there lactose intolerance?
I think if you think about it, I love some cheesecake, but if all I could eat was cheesecake all the time, every day, forever.
Yeah, I'd probably end up hating it myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
My other question was, when you became an atheist, did you still have lingering fear of hell?
Yeah, I mean, I remember growing up, and I guess the concept of heaven, it was kind of touched on in church here and there, but not, usually it was in the context of a funeral. That's usually where it was kind of heavily pushed through. So it was, somebody that went home to glory.
Yep.
Or an angel got called home. And so that was the comfort mechanism that was employed for the congregation, everyone that was there, to say that you're going to see this person again. They're, being received by the Lord, and they're happy, and be happy for them. And in my F. Kojic church, it was more music would happen, and so there would be dancing and some joys. There's, of course, tears, but that's supposed to be that celebration that they went home to the Lord. Therefore, you're going to see him again once you get there. Well, you'll all be reunited, even though I didn't necessarily like everybody.
For me, I got over the hell problem relatively quickly by saying, first of all, how much time have I spent worrying about the hell of other religions that I didn't grow up with?
Right, yeah.
The other thing is there anything I can do about it? And the third was, do I have any reason to think it's real? And all three of those failing to meet the test meant that any concern I had about hell just evaporated. But I'm in agreement with you. I've talked before about how, for example, my mom is not going to go to heaven, even though she thinks she is, because in heaven there can be no suffering. There's no way my mom could be in heaven with me in hell, and she wouldn't suffer. Now, I've talked to her about it, and somehow or another God makes this work. But the reality is, it's basically a facsimile of my mom, an altered one. There's something that's changed about her mind, such that she's not going to be sad.
Like a robot.
Yes, and she's there to praise and worship, and everything will be good. There will be no evil. The problem with all of that is what makes life interesting and valuable is a couple of things. Number one, it ends.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we could teach people to appreciate that the ending of life is a part of life and it's what gives the value to it, I think that would go a long way towards dealing with a lot of people's grief. But the other aspect of life is the variety and the pain. Now, yes, there is excessive pain and suffering in the world, but that doesn't mean that everything that causes some suffering or pain is necessarily a bad thing, because you learn from it. You learn how to overcome adversity. You learn more about the facts of reality so that you can avoid that. It would seem to me that in a perfect heaven, there's nothing to learn. And I live my life to learn, so I don't want to go there anyway. But I think one of the things that's appealing to people is they think when they get there, God's going to explain it all to you. You're going to get to rewind history and see what happened here, and everything will make sense, and all the stuff,
answers.
all the stuff you didn't know. Fermat's last theorem. You'll just get it. You'll know everything. I'm not aware of. Certainly nothing in the Bible supports the notion that when you get to heaven, God's going to, as far as you know, when you get to heaven, God's not going to tell you nothing. It's going to be like, there's your place to kneel.
Yeah.
There's your mansion, your mansion over there.
I had thought was that you didn't even get to see God when you got to heaven, because no one can see God, even in heaven.
I don't think that's actually biblical. You can't see him in physical form on earth, although you can evidently wrestle with him and other stuff. But
yeah, there were so many weird things. And about the hell part, when I became an atheist, the same day, that fear was instantly gone.
It's amazing when
I haven't had any fear of hell ever since that day. And I can tell you the
That is
exact
great.
day I became
That's
an
awesome.
atheist.
Yeah.
That is great. And I know people have been atheists for many, many years who still wake up in the middle of the night from fear of the hell that they were indoctrinated to. So count yourself fortunate. And I think that, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I feel very lucky that I don't have any fear of hell. But I do have a lot of siblings, and they all, except for two of them, believe in God. And both of them believe in some sort of supernatural thing, the ones who don't believe in God. So I'm the only one who does not believe in God at all, or any gods. Or that same day I decided, if I'm not going to believe in the Christian God, why should I believe in any other God?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, if there is
We're going from one religion to another.
Yeah, if there is some God out there, I'm open to the evidence for it.
Sure.
I think some of them are more obviously false than others.
Yeah.
But anyway, Marie, I appreciate the call.
Much more interesting. Some of them are much more interesting than the Christian God.
Sure.
Like Loki. But
Yeah.
anyway, I appreciate the call, Marie. We're going to wrap the show up and then go into some after show calls real quick. But yeah, enjoy no longer fearing hell or wanting heaven.
Yeah. I know that's right. It can definitely linger there, but yeah, that same type of mentality that you were saying, like how long have I feared the quote unquote hells of others, of other religions all of my life? And it's like, if I'm not fearing them, but why in the world should I still fear this one, especially if I don't have a belief in a deity or don't have any evidence that an afterlife exists at all in the first place? Like, why in the world would I live that way?
It seems a lot of the arguments that I presented about this problem, they're going to seem cartoonish. Mm-hmm. And the only reason they seem cartoonish is because most people are indoctrinated into a particular religious mindset. So as soon as you hear, like when I say that mysticism, spirituality, they're so overused that they're useless, there are people who think they know what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. And quite often they're not talking about the same thing. We're talking past it. But when I look at the examples that I give, people think are cartoonish. I'm like, okay, if you really loved, your kids, would you build a torture chamber in the basement and then never directly engage with them, but leave them notes on the refrigerator that they have no evidence these notes